Dieting is a thing of the past because everyone, everywhere is thriving. And you may hear that and think, well, that's not realistic, or maybe that's even impossible. But I want you to think for just a moment, if you could define your life on your own terms, in other words, if there was nothing holding you back, what would be different? How would you look? How would you feel? Where would you go? What would you do? How would you think? Or maybe what would you say? Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Velu Lou. My name is Dr. Joel Feedman, and for over 15 years, I've had the great privilege and honor of helping thousands of patients overcome many different health challenges while losing weight. And in those 15 years, I've learned a lot about health, and I've learned a lot about weight loss. And whether it be helping a client to lose weight, or to help somebody like my daughter who is battling the most aggressive form of childhood leukemia, I learned that unless you address the underlying cause, the results are limited and short-term at best. Listen, if you're frustrated because of collapsing health, or maybe you feel imprisoned by your weight or trapped not knowing what to do to take that next step to improve your life and your health, then look no further. Velu Lou can help. Sometimes people approach me and say, Doc, what is Velu Lou? Is it a name? Is it a program? Is it a product? Is it a movement? And the answer is yes to all of those things. Velu Lou is beyond dieting. It's unlike anything you've ever heard of or seen before. Velu Lou doesn't focus on weight, however, helps people successfully lose anywhere from 20 to 45 pounds or more with sustainable long-term results. Simply put, Velu Lou is about inspiring to thrive. And when you hear that word thrive, what does it mean to you? What would that look like? And so for decades, many people have been dieting. They've been trying to exercise to lose weight. And they find themselves to where they're on prepackaged microwavable foods and shakes, or even mail-ordered food, like that's going to help anybody. Those things only don't work, but then additionally, these diet programs and exercise methods will oftentimes cause things to become worse. You end up with cellular dehydration, you imbalance the hormones and neurotransmitters even more than ever before. It toxifies the body with these synthetic, man-made, manufactured foods, and it just creates a setup for failure. What makes things worse is then people find themselves depressed and more frustrated than ever before after they've been reaching out searching for help, only to find themselves like a pinball bouncing around from one diet to the next crazy diet. Velu Lou is not like that. Velu Lou is about unapologetically sharing the truth so you know exactly what to do to effectively lose 20 to 45 pounds or more, but not only to effectively lose the weight, but to be able to have sustainable long-term results. Why, would you ask? Well, because with Velu Lou, we don't focus on weight. We realize that weight is a side effect to poor health and abnormal physiology, but not the underlying cause. You see, Velu Lou is founded on the premise, the belief that you were created to thrive, that you have an incredible potential to not just go through your days, but to have endless energy, looking good, feeling good, and able to do the things that you love to do in life. And because we wholeheartedly embrace that belief, we focus on health and what your body needs to be at its best. So whether it be losing weight or trying to overcome conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or cancer, you must first ask yourself, what is it that you want? Now, I know that may sound crazy, but I want you to hear me out for just a moment. When my youngest daughter was diagnosed with the most aggressive form of childhood leukemia, we'd be up in the hospital and I'd walk through the hallways and I would see endless amounts of little children suffering and fighting for their lives. One evening I'll never forget when the head dietitian of the floor came into my daughter's room and she was telling my daughter about the various dinner options. These options consisted of things like peanut butter pie and Oreo milkshakes. Now, would those things promote better life, better health? Would they basically position your body in a way where it's stronger and healthier? Or, in the same sense, with a body that's already fighting for their life, would it cause the body to become weaker and compromised and position the body to where there's less health, less life in a poor, dim future? You see, in order to have sustainable lifetime results, you have to understand what health is and what it takes for your body to get healthy and stay healthy. And that's the premise of what we do with Velu Lou. You see, think about last time you went to the grocery store. If you were to search for real, natural food, how long would it take you to find that? Because in a store, they're filled with all these different options. But why is it only a few of these options actually say stuff like organic, natural, GMO-free, and things of that nature? In other words, if those are the ones that are natural, real food, does that mean that everything else is somehow manufactured? Whether it be produce with genetics or animals or chickens, whether it be packaged foods to where the label says one thing, but the reality is there's no quality in those particular foods. And so to have this idea that you can go on a diet and lose weight on these foods, you may lose a few pounds here and there, but you're losing muscle and water. You're causing your body to have more disruption and interference than ever before. And this is what causes this continual frustration to where people are crying out for help. There are programs endless all around us, but there are people right in front of us every day that are looking for a solution, and Vilulu is that solution. You see, you have to always keep in mind that your body was created to thrive. You were created to be a full expression of life and health where you can look good and feel good. And not just physically feel good, but that you can emotionally and mentally feel good. That you can have great confidence and sustain health. But there are two things that have been proven to get in the way and keep your body from just that: toxicity and deficiency. And because we understand this with Velu Lou, we've developed a very specific protocol to address these things. Let's first talk about toxicity. It's no secret that when you look around, you're going to find that we are being bombarded with chemicals every single day. Whether it be the chemicals that are sprayed on our foods or even in our foods, whether it be the personal hygiene products that we use, environmental pollutions, cleaning products, then the list is literally endless. But these chemicals disrupt the body's ability from truly being a full expression of life and health. So as a result, with all these dieting programs out there, now dieting is the new smoking. In other words, these new programs are creating more interferences than ever before. Think about it. For the last several decades, you've been told to exercise more, eat less, watch your calories, eat sugar-free or fat-free, and these things were supposed to address our problem. However, if you look at this, we have more heart disease, more cancer, more diabetes, more depression, more weight gain, more obesity, and the list is literally endless. We have more hospitals with people suffering endlessly than ever before. So what's the problem? The problem is that we're not addressing the underlying cause. When it comes to deficiency, your body also must have certain things in order for your body to thrive and function and heal at its very best. Think about it for just a moment. If you were a gardener and outside in your garden you have the most enriched soil, that you have great genetics for a tomato plant, perfect sunlight, and then you also have a great water source. Well, when you give this plant all that it needs, it's going to thrive and it's going to produce and it's going to be everything that it was created with the potential to be. But let's suppose you go out to your garden one day and you find that there's a kink in your water hose. Well, it's only missing one of the four important elements. It has the sunlight, the soil, the genetics. But because it's missing water, the question becomes, will it be at its best? Is it going to produce at a high level? Well, let's say you take that kink out of the water hose, but then you have the blockage where it's not getting the sunlight. Maybe you have sunlight and water, but yet there's no nutrients in your soil. You get the idea. If your body gets what it needs to thrive, it will. But when you deprive your body of those things, you cannot get the results that we're all looking to achieve. And the same thing holds true when it came to my daughter trying to battle for her life when she was diagnosed with cancer. She's alive and well, but we had to address the underlying cause. We had to get to the root problems. And the answer was not in medication. It was not in Oreo milkshakes or peanut butter pie. We had to find what the body was lacking in order for the body to be that true expression of life the way God created her. Another disturbing factor when it comes to healthcare or even dieting is that it seems to be a one-size-fits-all approach. In other words, it seems like everybody is being treated the same way. If you have high blood pressure, if you want to lose 20 pounds, we're going to recommend this or that. Vilulu is not like that. Vilulu looks at you as a unique, amazing, capable individual. Vilulu treats you as just such. Think of it this way. If your eyesight was going bad and you needed glasses, you wouldn't just go pick up somebody's glasses and wear them. If they weren't the right prescription, you wouldn't see at your best. And the same thing happens with your life and your health. The one-size cookie-cutter approach, yeah, it might work temporarily for some people, but the only way to have sustainable results is when we treat you for your goals, your needs, your desires, and passions in life. that we focus on what you need for your body to thrive and heal and be well. And we do so all without diagnosing or treating any sickness, symptom, or disease. When we focus on health, we are able to position the body in a place where it can be the expression of life from inside out, the way you were created. So how do we go about doing that? Well, what we wanted something that was simple, easy, effective, something that was completely and totally personalized. And since we couldn't find it, we created our Velu Lou Human Thriving System. What is a human thriving system? Once again, the foundation or premise, the belief is that you were created with this incredible potential to heal and be well. And so we are using now the most advanced breakthroughs in technology, paired with simple but yet comprehensive food plans. We're using real natural foods. We're using the highest quality natural products that we can possibly find in this world. To make things even better then, what we do is we develop specific protocols with education, and then we have support that's second to none. When it comes to products, we've scoured the earth to find the greatest value, most natural, high quality products that we could find, and those are the things that we use. And although that was a lot of work, what we have now is a proven system that is able to transform lives. Our Velu Lou Human Thriving System consists of 3 simple phases: a purification phase, a sustain and engrave phase, as well as a thrive phase. And all of this is founded on the belief and the understanding that you're a 3-part being. I know they've tried to separate that out with medical science, but you are a body, a mind, and a spirit. And one cannot be affected without having the others affected in some way. So getting back to Velu Lou, what is Velu Lou? Is it a name? Is it a program, a product, or is it a movement? And the answer, once again, it's all those things. Velu Lou inspires to thrive. You have to always anchor to the truth that you were created with this incredible potential to heal and be well. Your weight gain or your poor health is only a side effect to poor physiology and interferences that's holding your body back from being that full expression of life. You see, with Velu Lou, the name has power, has meaning. V represents alive, living life, lifetime. Lulu, on the other hand, represents remarkable object, person, or idea. Pearl, precious, protected, peaceful, superior, warrior-like, or even calm. You are remarkable. You're alive and living. And you deserve to live in peace. You deserve to live protected from the things of poor health and all that comes along with that. You have the ability to live your life in a peaceful, calm, precious, protected way, living life to the fullest without compromise. How much would your life be if your life was living with peace and joy and happiness, where you were able to do the things that you love to do, having boundless energy while doing them? This is what Velu Lou is all about. It's about you and your family, the people you love and care about the most, thriving and being totally well. Velu Lou, creating long-term sustainable body transformations, all without diagnosing or treating any sickness, symptom, or disease, but instead focusing on life and health. The question becomes, what is it that you want? If you want life and health, then Velu Lou can help. Listen, there's always going to be people who are going to be haters, doubters, and unbelievers. But don't let what they say or think, or what you think they say or think about you, deter you from living the life that you deserve to live. Jonathan Swift once said that vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. What's your goal? What's your vision? What's the purpose that you have for your life? How would you define your life if there was nothing holding you back? God bless.